Hi guys, Claudia Boleyn here. Quiet again as usual because mum's at home, so I always talk quietly. But this is a really quick one, you'll be pleased to hear. So I started my ADHD medication today, so I have it here. I feel like Vanya from the Umbrella Academy. I've never had tablets in a little pot like this before. It feels very nice. Okay, so it's called Zagatin, Zagatin XL. So I don't know if any of you guys are on the same as me, but anyway, this is what it looks like. So I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I think I'm supposed to be on the 18 milligrams for a few weeks, and then I think it goes up after the first 2 weeks. And I don't think this is the most popular ADHD medication, but obviously because of my emetophobia, when I spoke to the doctor, they didn't want me to have one that would set off any anxiety or nausea, anything like that, because that makes me really nervous. So yeah, the only side effects that are common, I think, are heart palpitations, so I have to keep an eye on that. They can give you sweats and stuff, but I mean, that's nothing, that's fine. And psychosis, which I do have to keep an eye on because I have had psychosis before, and that is something that I do struggle with. But I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I mean, I'm quite excited. I don't think I've ever been excited to take tablets before. But yeah, it's just because I have so many unfinished projects and so much energy, mental energy, you know, really hyperactive brain. Which is something I'm learning about ADHD, which is great because I was speaking to Dad about it not yesterday, maybe a couple of days ago. And Dad and I are actually more similar than I thought, because Dad's actually quite an adrenaline junkie, you know, thrill seeker, impulsive. And when I was little, I was the same. You know, I think I've spoken before, when I was a little girl, when Dad was still here, I was really confident, happy, you know, laughing, quite daring. My memories as a child when Dad was here. It's weird because I was watching Mission Impossible with Dan last night, Mission Impossible Fallout, and when I was little, Dad used to play the Mission Impossible soundtrack really, really loud, and we used to take turns diving off the sofa and rolling over the floor dramatically like a stunt. And I really remember that really vividly. And Mum says that she was made to watch. It was like a show. But yeah, Dad is actually really pleased about the ADHD thing, and so am I, because I think obviously in the past I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and I think that Dad said this for a long time, and I think he's definitely right. I'm not by nature a depressive person or necessarily an anxious person, or I wasn't meant to be. That stuff's more situational, based on experiences or maybe trauma, etc., or stressful situations. And my doctor said that after a while of taking the ADHD medication, I might actually be able to stop taking the venlafaxine and quetiapine, which venlafaxine is I think it's it's like an antidepressant. I'm sorry if that's not right, but yeah, it makes you more up, and I take that in the morning, and then the quetiapine kind of calms you down. I think it's an antipsychotic. But loads of people with ADHD get wrongly diagnosed with depression and anxiety when they're kids, because obviously, if you have ADHD that's undiagnosed, especially if you're a girl, because they don't realise, you will probably get depressed or you'll get exhaustion because your mind is really hyperactive all the time, and you will get really exhausted by social settings and things, and you won't understand why, that you work in these short bursts, and you get exhausted changing from thing to thing all the time. And yeah, that can come across as a depression situation, and also it makes you depressed because you can't understand why you can start things, you can't finish them, and you have all this potential and excitement, but you can't seem to stick to something. You know, when I was younger, Mum used to say, you know, you start things and you never finish them, and she was right. She was right. Yeah, it was I'd get all these ideas, and then I'd flick from thing to thing. I mean, you know, I've got a couple of unfinished novels. This one that I'm doing now is actually the closest to finish I've ever got, because the first draft is done, and with my masters, it helps us through the editing process, publishing, getting it published and stuff like that. So this is actually going to happen. But yeah, for years and years, I go from thing to thing. And actually my Umbrella Academy series that I started with Luther, I've actually, I found my Diego one the other day, and I realised I've just got to do a couple more visuals for it, and that will come soon. So I actually have been working on that recently, weirdly. I've been watching a lot of Umbrella Academy again, it's my comfort show. I just love Umbrella Academy so much. But yeah, I think the anxiety and depression stuff is not something that I will necessarily have for the rest of my life, because it's maybe been situational or stress, or maybe even part of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's hard to tell really, but a lot of it's probably environmental, etc. As I've touched on in other videos before, and there's some stuff I don't say, but you know, it's been quite emotionally turbulent, and yeah, so that and ADHD and BPD is quite a lot. But I'm just excited really, because I'm just excited to get it sorted, because I joined a forum, this ADHD forum for women and girls, and I think it's for non-binary people too. I think it's just not men in the forum, because and not in a sense that like it's nasty towards men, just because obviously if you're non-binary or if you're a woman, usually you've been missed in the process. So loads of people are only just now, especially in my age range and above, are finally getting a diagnosis. So the experience is different in that respect, that maybe we weren't picked up on so much. Not that it's easier for boys or men with ADHD, but just that it's a slightly different experience because it wasn't really known about. And just like relating to it, and I feel like I found my people, and people that like little things, like I can't just watch something, I can't watch films, very rarely can I watch films, but I can watch TV shows if I'm hyper into them. But often I have to like have something in the background all the time. I can't just sit and do something in silence unless I'm like hyper focused. Like I have a million things going at once, like my phone and music and the TV's on, and I get stressed when the TV's not on. I just constantly need distractions all the time. You know, I cross stitch, I cycle between crafts all the time. So I do beading, I sketch, and something that I know is an ADHD thing is that ever since I started doing art on my tablet, everything changed and I've been able to do so much more art. Because the thing with me is that I loved doing art when I was younger, but I would always stop halfway and I couldn't handle putting everything away, and it would feel overwhelming and I'd get upset and it would feel like it wasn't even worth doing it because I'd have to like put everything away and I was on to the next thing already. So that actually really helped me, you know, like doing art on the tablet, because you can leave something and then come back to it when you want and it's still there, and you don't have to put anything away, it's not messy. Yeah, I'm going to make a video soon about like all my ADHD symptoms that I had growing up that I didn't realise were ADHD, because I think it will be really helpful. And as you can tell, like, it's not like a pitiful woe is me video. Like, I feel really like jubilant. I feel great, I really do. You know, I'm just excited to move forward with my life. Obviously that's something I'm trying to do at the moment. So obviously after I had the breakdown, I decided to try and make something positive out of it and rebuild myself better and different, because things weren't working before. And there were a lot of traumas and situations in my background that I didn't want to think about or talk about, and I pushed aside, and didn't have good boundaries, and I didn't really know who I was, and in some ways like I was not coping particularly well. And I just wanted to fix those things, really, because I want to be the best person I can be. Like I said before, like I want to be, if I'm a mum, then I want to be a good mum, but that's okay if I'm not, you know. I still want to be a good aunt to Dan's kids and just be the best version of myself that I can be. Be more reliable, all those things, and be more like in the adult world. I think BPD and ADHD together makes you feel like such a child, and also because of like obviously family situations, dependencies, and maybe like feeling like a child always, you know, that also contributes to that situation. But I'm only just like this year truly finding my identity as a woman and an adult, only just now. Anyway, I'm really grateful to Dan for that as well, because I think Dan has helped me so much with those identity things and like supporting me, and he's got his own stuff going on too, and I'm just forever in his debt really. I'm so lucky to have him, you know that. We're making our video soon, so that's exciting, and we're going to make some Doctor Who reviews. We loved Doctor Who this week. Yeah, I'm just rambling, so I should probably go, because I know these are super long and people don't want to watch like really long videos, which I understand entirely. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I had to tell you. No, I don't think so. Oh, I'll show you my top. I have a Scarlet Witch top. Okay, there you go. I can't really get it on the screen very well because of this angle. I don't want to go too far over there because of the light and everything. But yeah, my Wonder top. So yeah, and I've had a lot of people saying recently, and on the ADHD forum, that it's really common that people with BPD have ADHD and vice versa, especially with women. So that's exciting, and not to be like, I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, ADHD and BPD are like superpowers, because I don't want to like underestimate like how damaging they are to your life. Like they are so frustrating and tragic really, because there's so many extra obstacles, and it's just, oh, it's so difficult with those things, you know, to be hyper emotional and also have like hyper racing thoughts all the time. It's really exhausting and difficult. But I do want to look at the positives. Like, I'm not trying to say it's not difficult. Like, it is a disability, you know. It is something that is so frustrating and upsetting, and it hurts your potential and your self-esteem, and add to that anyway, wider stuff. Yeah, it's not that great. But in terms of like, I want to be able to use it, and I do have like an intense focus, an intense passion for things, and I always have. I've done lots of projects and stuff, and that's not going to disappear. I'm just going to be able to focus more on each project, which is really good. So it'll be helpful for my career, for my novels, because I obviously want to get my novels published. Yeah, and with the BPD, I think doing steps really did help me. It really helped me regulate my emotions, and I'd always wondered why after steps, like, my emotional stuff was better, but I still wasn't organising. Like, why wasn't it falling into place? Because it was ADHD as well. But I don't know, just knowing that makes me feel more powerful, and that's why I'm happy with the diagnosis, because I can finally move forward. And I was talking to Dad about this the other day, and it was just really happy, because on the inside I am quite, I want to rediscover the person that I was when I was a little kid before all the stuff happened, really. Like, who could I have been? And I used to think, like, that person was lost, and I was kind of sad about it, but I don't think she is. I think she's in there. So, yeah, I'm going to find her again. Like, I'm the sort of person that, I love roller coasters. Because of my situation, like, I became quite, like, timid and anxious and stuff, and, like, self-esteem issues and stuff, and maybe a bit nervous. But, in my head, like, I do love roller coasters, the idea of skydiving, stuff like that. I like those things. So I'm going to get back to that, and just embrace more of those qualities, and see if I can just sort myself out. But yeah, okay, so this was longer than I intended. It was just going to be an update video, but I love you loads, and would love to know your experiences on the medication, if you're on the same, or other medications. I don't know. We're just trying this one out, and if it doesn't work, I guess we'll try a different one. And I need to remember to keep in touch, because the one thing that's frustrating is the Psychiatry UK, I think it's Psychiatry UK website. It's an NHS thing. I was diagnosed on the NHS. In order to, like, fill out the forms and stuff, it's really difficult for an ADHD brain anyway, and it's a bit of a joke, because you try to log in and then they send you a text or an email and you have to do this and it doesn't work and you have to keep doing it and looking back, and that's a nightmare. So it took me weeks to even do that. So I have to keep remembering to map my symptoms and talk to my doctor. He's really nice, so it's no bother to talk to him, like, he's really nice, but I want to keep up with it. I'm trying hard, writing a lot of lists and just getting it sorted. But yeah, I'm sorting my life out. Could have been the worst breakdown, and it could have been really bad, but actually it's probably taking me to the place that I needed to be. Not that everything has to happen for a reason, like, terrible things happen for no reason, and I don't necessarily like that phrase, everything happens for a reason, but whenever anything bad happens, you have to try and take something out of it, even if that's your own resilience, and I think I have somehow, in the midst of stuff, found some resilience from somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, alright, I love you loads, and I'll see you really soon. Bye!